Hi everybody, I'm Dr. Jennifer Day, and I'm the instructor for clinical documentation of mental health and emotional disorders. This video is going to walk us through the syllabus as well as Canvas resources for this course. At the top of the page, you'll find my email and my phone number. Each week I'm available on Monday evenings and Friday mornings via phone or for a video chat. You can also contact me at any point in time during the week to set up a time to connect outside of those hours. I'll talk a bit more further down in the syllabus about the best ways to contact me. I'm going to let you review the School of Professional Counseling mission statement, as well as the counseling program mission statement. And that brings us to our course description. This course presents detailed coverage of utilizing and completing the primary documentation components in clinical practice. This includes intake interview reports, session notes, developing and implementing treatment plans, formulating timelines for treatment, assessing and reporting on treatment progress, procedures for making and documenting appropriate treatment recommendations and referrals, and termination summaries in the treatment of mental and emotional disorders. The clinical application of theoretical orientations throughout these processes will also be emphasized. We have several required texts for this course, which include the DSM-5, Clinical Documentation for Mental Health Clinicians by Gallo, as well as the Complete Adult Psychotherapy Treatment Planner. Our method of instruction: students are expected to take an active role in their learning through completing assigned readings, participating in Canvas discussion boards, and completing required assignments. I'm going to let you review the technical resources and skills required for this course, and that brings us to our course objectives. These objectives lay out how the course meets CACREP standards. Before we get into our course requirements and assessments, we're going to hop over to Canvas for a quick tour. We'll begin with announcements. Here you'll find announcements that I post throughout the course. Under modules, we'll begin with Getting Started. Here you'll find information about me. Communicating with your instructor and classmates. The method of communication that you'll get the quickest response from me is email. My email address is included in the syllabus. I typically respond to email within 24 to 48 hours, 7 days a week. You should not expect email responses from me after 9 p.m. in the evening. As a part of this course, you'll be expected to actively participate in discussions with your classmates and with me. This will primarily be done through online discussion boards. These are assigned throughout the semester as a part of your instruction. In all discussions, communicating respectfully is important and expected. Some of these discussions may relate to controversial topics, and they may generate strong opinions. This helps to generate healthy discussion and critical thinking. Respectful disagreement with another individual's opinion is part of the learning process. However, respecting others' views and communicating with respect is required, and this is called netiquette. You can find information about netiquette right here. Taking us back to Getting Started, you'll find information about our textbooks. You'll find the course syllabus and course syllabus video here. And then you'll find several resources for support. So technical support, APA resources, a link to the Writing Center and the library, the SPC Hub, and additional course policies. These are the Lindsay Wilson syllabus statements. For each module, you'll find objectives, overview, and to-do list. The to-do list in each module mirrors the same list in our syllabus. If you click on instructional content for any module, you will find chapter PowerPoints and chapter video lectures, as well as information about the assignments we're either working on or are due that week. In each module, I've included client file templates for the documents that you will work on to compile your signature assignment. You'll find any assignments that we may have. So our first module, we have a syllabus signature assignment and a discussion board. On Thursdays, you'll see another tab here, and that will be the quiz for that week. If you scroll all the way down past the weekly modules, you'll see drop boxes for each of the documents you're going to create. All of these documents are compiled to create a case file, and the case file is your signature assignment. All of these forms here can be found in each module under instructional content. Below any PowerPoint or video lecture we have, there's links to every one of those documents in every module throughout the course. Let's look at announcements. I send announcements out at least once a week, often twice, with reminders and resources about module content for that week. You'll also get a separate announcement about the quiz when I open it on Thursday mornings, as a reminder so that you know the quiz is available. Let's go back to our syllabus and review our course requirements. In this course, your signature assignment is a complete client file. You'll be assigned a fictitious case vignette of a client, and based on that vignette, you'll create a complete client file, which will include all of these documents. Each document correlates with a chapter in our textbook so that you'll have a complete understanding of the purpose of that form, how to complete that form, what the content of that form should include. We also have chapter quizzes that cover the content within a given module. Test questions may consist of multiple choice, fill in the blank, true, false, or a short answer essay. We have discussion boards in this course. We'll talk about them in further detail in a moment. And we have our syllabus signature assignment page. I will let you review the course policies that include information about participation, student privacy, university statement on diversity, policies on academic integrity, and absences. That brings us to my instructor policies. Communication and questions. Communication is of the utmost importance. If you have a personal or professional issue, please let me know as soon as possible. It's your responsibility as the student to communicate if there's something you don't understand or if there's something that you need clarification on. The end of the semester is too late to ask questions, so please make sure that you're asking questions early in the semester. Our modules run from Sunday to Monday, and modules will open in Canvas on the Monday that they're scheduled to begin. Quizzes are available on Thursday mornings and are due on Sunday evenings by 11:30 p.m. Standards for written work. Papers are required to follow APA's 7th edition style. If you need assistance with writing, you can contact the Lindsay Wilson Writing Center for assistance. We'll go back over to Canvas under Getting Started, and you'll find a link right here to the Writing Center. There are APA 7th edition resources in Canvas and Getting Started. Per general APA guidelines, assignments should be typed and double-spaced with 1-inch margins on all sides, with 12-point Times New Roman font. All written assignments in this course adhere to spelling, grammar, mechanics, and intelligible flow of thought. Professional writing is expected on all assignments, from discussion board posts and responses to signature assignments. Artificial intelligence. In this course, you may not use ChatGPT or other AI composition or generative software. Claiming the work of others, including AI, as your own is plagiarism and is a violation of academic integrity. Some online programs, such as Grammarly, make suggestions to change a user's original writing. Using these functions to rephrase or rewrite parts of an assignment is a violation of our course academic integrity policy. Canvas uses copy leaks to identify AI software, as well as programs that recommend changes to a student's original work. All work submitted for grades in this course must be your own original work. I consider it to be academically dishonest to represent work created by AI as your own. Assignments and quizzes submitted after the due date will receive a minimum of 10% off total points. Attendance. Due to the uniqueness of an online facilitated course, weekly upkeep of your work and assignments is expected and required as attendance in this course. Late submissions will be counted as an absence for the week, resulting in a loss of points. I, as the instructor in this course, have a responsibility to adhere to the attendance policy put in place by Lindsay Wilson. Professional online behavior. Students are expected to act in a professional manner. This includes online participation and online classroom conduct. Issues and cases discussed are to be kept confidential. Professional awareness, experiential exercises, disclosure statement. During the course and training, certain exercises, experiences, discussions, etc. will be presented in an effort to demonstrate clinical techniques and promote student self-awareness. These activities and assignments are in no way intended as therapy or counseling for the student. However, any exploration into the self has the potential to evoke certain emotions, memories, and personal insights, which can prove to be unpleasant or disconcerting. It's recommended that any individual in preparation for a career in the human services and or counseling arenas should strongly consider individual or group counseling as a means of resolving personal issues and to facilitate personal growth. And that brings me to my final instructor policy, which is a very important one for me. When you save your assignments to be submitted to Canvas, please save them as your name and the assignment. I have a lot of assignments and papers to grade, and when students don't follow this protocol, I'll end up with 15 or 20 assignments that are all named informed consent. Knowing who the assignment belongs to and what assignment I'm looking for before I even open the file makes things move much more quickly as I'm grading them and lets me get feedback to you more quickly. So in this course, you would use your name, and the name of the assignment that you're submitting. For example, Lisa Simpson, mental status exam, or Lisa Simpson, informed consent. And before I leave, I meant to talk more in depth about contacting me, and I skipped past that. So let me go back up and talk about that for a moment. Regarding communication, I respond to emails within 24 to 48 hours, most often within 24 hours. If you don't receive a response within 48 hours, for some reason, go ahead and text me or call me. My phone number is in the syllabus. If you text me, please leave your name in the text so that I know which student I'm responding to. That brings us to our tentative course schedule. You'll find dates for each module, assigned readings, and assessments or assignments due. All of our assignments in this course are due on Sunday by 11:30 p.m., with the exception of the syllabus signature page, which is due the first Wednesday of the course by 11:30 p.m., and assignments for week 7, module 7. They're due on Friday, not Sunday. Each module will have a discussion board, chapters to read, and a quiz to take. You have a timeline here for when to begin working on assignments, as well as when you should be turning those assignments in. For your signature assignment documents that you're going to submit, there's an optional component. So for instance, you will be working on Module 3 on informed consent. You have the option of submitting a rough draft of the informed consent into the Dropbox in Canvas. If we go back to our modules, we go all the way down to the bottom, and we find, one moment, informed consent. You could submit a draft there by September 13th. I will then review your draft and get feedback to you so that you can make edits before the final draft will be due on September 20th. So for all documents in the client case file that you're creating for your signature assignment, you have the option of submitting rough drafts for review. Let's talk about our signature assignment. You will be assigned a fictitious case vignette of a client, and based on that case, you're going to create a complete client file, which will include the following documents listed here. You will utilize the standard templates with appropriate and professional clinical language and formatting. There's separate point values for each document for the file, and again, you have the option of submitting rough drafts. Here's a description of each document you will complete for this assignment. Each document has a corresponding chapter in the textbook, so we'll be covering in depth what the content of that form should be, as well as the reason why we need that form, the importance of the form, how that form plays a role in ethics and in clinical treatment. Again, you can find every one of these forms in any module, instructional content. You'll find links to each one. For the treatment plan, you're going to generate 3 problem statements with 1 observable and measurable goal for each problem statement, and 3 objectives and interventions for each goal. The importance of family, social networks, community systems, and referral options should also be integrated into the treatment plan. All available spaces should be filled in and complete on all of these forms to demonstrate a thorough and successfully completed treatment plan. You're going to create 2 different session notes, one in a DAP style and one in the SOAP style. Your DAP session note will reflect the second session with your client. The SOAP style note will reflect your 6th session with your client. In the assessment section of your case note, you're going to use principles of a model or theory to form a biopsychosocial case conceptualization of a client and also provide a diagnosis. In the plan section, you will also include referral considerations. When completing this assignment, you may embellish the session with additional details or descriptions of that session to demonstrate assessment or documentation skills. However, any additional information added cannot contradict anything presented in the case vignette. And finally, you will complete the termination summary based on the template provided in the course. Here's your rubric for your signature assignment, and that brings us to our required assignments. We have weekly quizzes that are available in Canvas from Thursday morning until Sundays at 11:30 p.m. I'll send out an announcement on Thursdays when those quizzes become available. Discussion boards. You will answer questions related to weekly content and engage in discussion related to the questions that are posed. These assignments are designed to facilitate engagement and collaboration. They are viewed as conversations and a means of self-exploration. Please remember that all work submitted for grades in this course must be your own original work. I consider it academically dishonest to represent work generated by AI as your own. I also consider it to be disrespectful when students respond to their peers' posts using AI. Each discussion board is worth 25 points. An initial response from 400 to 500 words is 18 points. Each peer response of at least 100 words is worth 3.5 points. For every discussion board, peer responses are due the week after. So for discussion board number 1, the due date is August 30th. The response to peer due date is September 6th. If we go to Canvas and go to any module, under module activities, you'll find our discussion boards. You'll find the questions that you need to answer for your initial response to the discussion board, as well as the grading format and due dates for the initial post and the peer responses.